Hi, how are you doing? Today we're doing another installment in my Straight to the Playlist series. So basically I'll be talking about new music releases from this past month, in this case March, and talking about if they're going straight to my playlist or not. Just by artists that I follow and I enjoy music of, so it's not like a comprehensive guide of everything released this month. I do have to say that in March, Ariana Grande released her album Eternal Sunshine, which I did a whole separate review of on the channel, so you can go check that out if you want to. And there's timestamps in the descriptions for everything that I will be talking about today, so you can click around to whatever you're most interested in or skip what you're not interested in. And let's just get started with the first song that came out this month, which is Burning by Jauregui. Technically Lauren released this a couple of months ago, I believe, but it got a wide streaming release this month, so I've only been able to listen to it from March onwards. And honestly, I had seen a lot of hype for this song. I'd seen a lot of fans absolutely love it, and to me it was just a bit of a disappointment. It felt a bit of a letdown. I still liked it, and it definitely is going straight to the playlist, but I don't know, I wanted something more from it for some reason. Then next we have Donderdag by Blommaert, which to me again was another letdown, just a little bit. I really enjoyed his first two singles, and so I was very excited to listen to this one. I don't know, it's a different vibe a little bit, and it's not necessarily my vibe. I don't know, there's just something about it that doesn't really click for me, but again, it's going straight to the playlist. I do still like it. It's a really fun song, I can say that, and maybe if I listen to it more it will become a bit more my vibe. And then again, a different vibe from what I was expecting, but in a good way this time around, and it's What I Am by ZAYN. This is the first single for his upcoming album Woman at the Stairs, which is coming out in May, and I'm really excited for. And even though I think ZAYN is an amazing artist, I don't listen to him that often because his music is not necessarily like my style, but this one was a very different vibe than what I typically have come to expect from ZAYN, and honestly I like it much more. Just it's a bit more up my wheelhouse. And then this song in particular just had really great lyrics and a vulnerable kind of like message to it that I just really liked as well, and it has made me extremely excited to listen to the rest of the album when it comes in May. And then Ariana Grande released a slightly deluxe version of Eternal Sunshine, which featured some different versions of songs of the album, including the Yes and remix with Mariah Carey, which I talked about last month, so I won't be talking about it in this video, but there are still 3 new versions of songs that I will be talking about. The first one being Supernatural with Troye Sivan. This one I also really liked. I mean, shouldn't have been a surprise because I love Troye Sivan's and Ariana Grande's collab from like a couple of years ago called Dance to This. I love that song so much. It's such an underrated bop. So I was really excited to hear them collaborate again on this track, and I like Supernatural from the original track list. I do still prefer the original, but Troye Sivan and Ariana Grande just are a great match, and vocally they just sound so great together that this is also just like a really good version that I just loved listening to. Then we have Imperfect for You Acoustic, and this just gave me chills. I loved it so much. I do actually love this more than the original, which might be a little bit controversial to say maybe, because I know Imperfect for You is like a fan favorite of the album, and again is one I absolutely love, and I love an acoustic version, and this just showed me why I love an acoustic version, because it just felt so magical and just so, I feel like it elevated the song even a bit more, and I don't know, I completely fell in love with this version. And then we have True Story a cappella, but True Story is probably my favorite of the album, so I was excited to kind of like listen to this version, and I also really liked it. I don't like it as much as the original again, but I do think that the acapella-ness kind of like worked for it really well, and it created kind of like this special vibe to everything that I just personally really liked. All 3 of those songs are definitely going straight to the playlist. Then next we have I Hope You Know a cappella by Sofia Carson. I Hope You Know just barely made it to the playlist when I listened to it a couple of months ago when it came out, but I was still kind of hopeful for this a cappella version. But for me, it gave nothing, like absolutely nothing. It was just, I don't know, just so bland. It didn't do anything with me. So this one just isn't making it to the playlist, unfortunately. Then we have Training Season London Sessions by Lipa. This one is going to the playlist, but I don't think it sounds that super different from the original. I do think it's a fun live version, but I think I prefer the Houdini London Session. I think from my memory there was just a bit more difference to it. Then next, Olivia Rodrigo released the spilled version of her album Guts, which is basically just like a deluxe version, just like a more fun name. We have 5 new tracks, starting with Obsessed, which isn't fully a new track to me because my vinyl variant has a song on it, and it jump scared me the first time I listened to it because I was not expecting to it. I've only listened to the vinyl twice though, so it's not like I'm super familiar with the song, but like I have heard it before, and I am obsessed with the song. Like, I totally get why Olivia has also decided to add it to her set list, and now also made it a single, because it is just such a good track. And next is Girl I've Always Been. This is actually the one, I believe, from the side that online I've seen like the most people talk about that they didn't like it as much, but might be my second, no, it's my third favorite from these 5 tracks. But it's very close. I really enjoyed it. It is a bit on the shorter side, but I actually think that works for a song. Typically with shorter songs, I am left wanting a little bit, and I did not have that with this one. It is very fun. It has like this country sound to it as well, which I really like. It's very different for Olivia, but I think works really well. Next we have Scared of My Guitar, which is the more vulnerable song of these 5, and I really liked it. It's great lyrics, great metaphors, and just Olivia Rodrigo knows how to write a ballad, and this definitely wasn't an exception. And then we have Stranger, which is probably my least favorite of the deluxe tracks, but I did still like it. It's just that I didn't like immediately love it like I did with like the rest of the tracks. But again, it's a great song. And then lastly, we have the only one that wasn't featured on any like vinyl variants of the original album, and that's So American. And this one has been rightfully getting so hyped. It's officially Olivia Rodrigo's like first love song, and I love it. It's so much fun and so filled with joy, which you can tell through every single aspect of the song. And I don't know, it's so much fun, and I just love listening to it. I think it's needless to say that all 5 of these songs are definitely going straight to the playlist. The next we have You Need Me Now by Grande featuring Sabrina Carpenter. Grande is an artist I've been meaning to check out for a while, and just like haven't really gotten around to. So this collaboration with Sabrina Carpenter, an artist I've loved for years, just felt like the universe kicking my butt, especially because I love this song. Like, everything about it I'm just obsessed with. I don't know, I kept kind of like bobbing my head along while listening to the song. I love how Sabrina kind of comes into it. I think both artists sound great together, and I don't know, I think it's just such a great track. And then next we have Training Season Acoustic version by Lipa. Again, a song that reminds me of So It's Why I love acoustic versions. I don't prefer this over the original, but I do still like it. It's a lot of fun. I feel like everything about it just screams like joy and fun. And then next we have Jokes on Me, a cappella by Sofia, Carson. And just like I Hope You Know, this just did nothing for me, which I should have seen coming, honestly, because Jokes on Me, I also like the original version of it. I also wasn't like the biggest fan of. Like, I'm not thinking they're bad songs, but like just not like my favorite. I don't know, it's not leaving an impact on me necessarily. And these acapella versions are doing even less for me. And then ending off with an artist that I'm loving following, and that's Stealing Love by Leigh-Anne. This is the first track of her upcoming EP, and I really enjoyed it. This is one that again is on the shorter side, but contrary to the Olivia Rodrigo song, I do feel like I left wanting a little bit, just like a tiny bit more from this song I would have really liked. But that's also because I really liked it, and I really loved the vibe of it and the lyrics of it, and Leigh-Anne sounds amazing on it. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. But yeah, that's it for March. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did. I just think this month was really strong for music releases. There were quite a lot of songs, and only 2 aren't making it to the playlist. And then there was 2 that I found just like a tad bit underwhelming, I still really liked. So I say that's a massive win in my books for March, just genuinely in music. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you thought of these songs, if you listened to them, as well as some of your favorite songs that came out in March. And then hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!
have to be so complicated. Should've played it cool.